She's British, right? So can you imagine her at like 1001? She's like, oh, let's keep it going.
Come on, Sid.
Yeah.
Go on with it. Go on with it.
It's for God and country.
Go on.
It's for God. It's for the Queen.
God save the Queen.
God save my vagina.
Hey, everybody. This is the D2 podcast. I'm Dave.
And my name is Dave, where we talk about sports, politics, culture, and we're going to have a very special session today.
We may talk a little bit about sex.
That'll be great.
Is that?
Did you hear the story about that? That I think she's a porn star who set the new record for having 1,000 men in a day.
Well, who's
Fun
that?
fact: the
She
record
broke
has
the
been
record?
broken. Yeah. So
I remember when it was like, how long ago?
Used to be
20 years ago?
yeah,
Was it someone named Houston or something?
Houston 500.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait.
Wait. How did I come up with that? So wow. Have I been thinking about that? Maybe. But
Houston
okay.
500.
Yeah. Wow. So that was like,
that was a long time ago.
oh my
wasn't
God.
it?
That was like 20 years ago. Okay.
Was
now,
it 20 years ago?
I think so. Because that was
I
around.
thought it was longer than that.
That was around the Howard Stern show.
Because
days.
she was on that
Yeah.
show, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Houston 500. That's right.
Was
Clearly-
it 500 guys she did it with?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Clearly, it's emblazoned upon my memory as a very important moment.
So someone did
Time.
1,000 guys?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. British.
What?
Could you look her up? Very important. We need to get our facts straight.
The British girl?
Yeah.
Her name's Lily something.
People in the audience are shocked right now. How does this happen?
Lily, what's her name?
Lily.
Her name is Lily?
Lily 1000 now, whatever it is.
Lily 1,000.
Lily Phillips.
Lily Phillips.
Should we interview
Oh,
her?
sounds so demure. 1,000 men. And then she held up this little sign. Like, I saw the picture of her holding up this 1,000, proudly smiling, right? And I was just like, this is like Will Chamberlain scoring 100 points. Incredible.
1,000.
1,000 dudes.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
Okay, now, what was the span of time? I think it was like 24 hours, was it?
1,000?
How?
1,000?
I don't know.
They,
So you'd
each of
have
them-
to do 24 each hour. You would have to do.
Yeah, what's the math on that? You guys are stats guys. Come on.
1,000 divided by 24.
Yeah, that
It's like
equals
400 something
per
per hour.
hour. So clearly they're not making love during those sessions.
400 per hour?
No, that doesn't make sense.
40.
40. Yeah.
40 something an hour.
Yeah. So you get like a minute and a half each, roughly?
So it's not to completion.
No.
It's just like
Is it?
dip,
No. Yeah.
dip.
Yeah. You're like, okay, go.
All right.
Da, 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 da.
Wouldn't it have? It would
Go.
have to be to completion.
I think
right?
it's kind of like,
like it. I don't know. Otherwise, it won't count.
like in wars when they drop off parachuters. It's like, go. And then it's like, clear, go. So no one's finishing, I don't think. Which that would be really nasty.
It's like 41.67 every hour.
And then,
So let's say 42
all right, would you?
in an hour.
42.
So that's like 1.4 minutes. One. Oh.
I think it's one at a time.
Totally worth it. Totally worth it, right?
You can have get two at one time. Is that what?
It's like 5 or 6 or 10. It's
Well,
like a gangbang. So
So do you think it's like? So
Two
she
at
was.
one time.
She was like multitasking.
yeah. And the guys are also jerking off at the same time.
That doesn't count.
That's not. That
But
doesn't
they're
matter.
preparing
You have.
themselves so that like.
You actually have to have some sort of.
Oh, prepping.
sex.
Prepping.
Yeah, it's not. She's not doing all the work.
But okay,
There's
How do you know about all this?
He's just theorizing.
There had to be preppers, man.
But, okay, on the little news clip that I saw,
They got these fluff girls out.
they, had- they, they didn't show like the guys' faces, right? But they showed this like line of like naked men's legs, like going up the stairwell and stuff. And I'm just like, oh man! So you're waiting hours in line, sitting there. Do you like sort of like wank the whole time, or are you like
Check in.
you get into?
You're at the 3 o'clock hour.
Oh my god.
3:15.
But you got to keep them ready and to go. You know, you never know when you're the next man up.
Do they know who these guys are?
I mean, I'm sure in the video, some of their faces are seen. I don't know. I don't know how the waiver system worked, but it's an accomplishment, I suppose. I mean,
1,000
yeah.
in one day.
yeah. So
Wow.
1,000. I'm sure someone can purchase the video if they like.
Is it on video?
I'm sure it is somewhere. You can. Silly, right?
Got free access. buddy.
Yeah, just like who's out there going? There's just not enough porn out there for me to watch. I need to pay for it. You know? Yeah. So
Apparently, there are people that do that. Otherwise,
the first thing that came to my mind, right,
Yeah.
was how does it feel to be Mr. 999? Because you're just like,
I assume they're all wearing condoms.
oh,
right?
they have to be. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. There's no.
otherwise they had to be all tested or something, right?
I doubt that they paid for 1,000 different AIDS, STD tests. I doubt it.
So
So they're just taking strangers off the street, literally, and wrapping it up, which everyone should do, and hoping for the best, I think. But then, do you think, like, would you want to kiss her?
no, I know you wouldn't want to if you were like.
Well, I like making love. So if I'm 782 and I'm just like,
So what do you do when you're like number 900 and you step up? What's the first thing you do?
oh no, I'm never being number 900. I had to be top 10.
Even if you were not number 1, if you were like number 5, I would
It's still a
think-
little icky.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it that much.
I mean, it's still like there were 4 other guys. What if you like one of the guys was
Uh-huh.
like really like before you was really like sketchy, kind of like had was just
You're so
had like
you're
open
so,
sores.
You're so judgy. You're so judgy.
I mean, would you like? Oh, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna go ahead.
I'm not being number one in that situation. I'm not going to be number one of 1,000. I don't care. I don't. It's not that important. You know.
I mean,
She only did 100.
What?
They said they're planning to do 1,000.
No, they did 1,000. Yeah, she held up the little sign.
well, 100 is nothing, man.
Yeah, anybody can do 100.
Oh, she didn't do it then. Lily Phillips didn't do it. Bonnie Blue.
Bonnie Blue. Is that's okay?
Bonnie Blue.
Bonnie Blue did 1,000. She beat her to 1,000.
Okay, good.
What purpose?
In 12 hours, not 20.
12. So that means
1,000 in 12 hours.
she's doing 80 an hour.
Yeah, like 80 something.
Yeah, 80 something an hour. So basically, the guys get to thrust twice. That's what they got. They're waiting around
80
hours
an
to.
hour.
It was
To, like-
1,057, not just. She had to add the 57.
Yeah, she's like.
So that's like 40 seconds.
Yeah, you know she's British, right? So can you imagine her at like 1,001? She's like, oh, let's keep it going.
Come on, Sid.
Yeah,
Go on with it. Go on with it.
it's for God and country.
Go on.
It's for God. It's for the Queen.
God save the Queen.
God save my vagina.
I mean, the shaking and the.
It's probably lube.
I'm sure.
What does it matter?
There's a hose. There's a hose out there.
It's just like the
It's like-
amount of friction.
Well,
Oh, 3 thrusts. Think about it.
It doesn't
well,
matter.
she
Pop,
did
pop,
it.
pop, out.
12 hours of that?
She's a champ. I mean,
She's
I
a
think
pro.
Callous.
She's a porn star.
She's a pro. She
So
knows what
she's-
she's doing.
You know, she's got the
Alrighty.
goods.
Okay.
We have a special guest today. A therapist who will remain incognito because of the touchy subject matter. But we're going to get her insight as to why we've been discussing the arguably degrading act of taking on 1,000 men in a span of 12 hours to reach the new record for
So to,
insertions.
to recap to kind of go a step back a little bit.
Yeah.
We were talking about that one
Bonnie Blue,
Bonnie Blue
who has apparently
who agreed to have sex with what is it, 1,000 guys
1,000 men,
in a span of 12 hours.
and she not only exceeded that mark, she went to 1,057 apparently.
57 extra
Yeah.
guys.
Overachiever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, she did it for God and Queen.
Excellent.
So,
It's king now.
God and sorry. I don't really consider Charles the king. Let's be honest. Little soft.
We're going to talk about the royal family.
No, we're not.
No.
So
Okay.
so stupid.
All right.
So, therapist, anonymous therapist. What is your view on why do you think this woman would have taken on this challenge? Like, what could be going through her head from a professional perspective?
Well, I'm not that kind of therapist, but
Well,
it's certainly some kind of traumatic past, I would say,
okay.
because no woman would just subject themselves to that kind of degradation or just physical abuse
Mhm.
of your body and
Right.
use of it.
Right.
You know?
But she has chosen to make this her profession, right,
Right.
already. And it's kind of like, I mean, I'm kind of joking, but I think there's an argument to be made that some women see this kind of owning your own sexuality, kind of being the master of their own sort of destiny as
Sure.
kind of, this is what I want to do with my body,
Hmm.
right? Do you think that's actually a good argument, or is it just kind of an excuse to, I don't know, put yourself out there?
Aren't records made to be broken?
I mean,
You know.
it's a very
So-
weird thing to want to do, right?
Yeah.
What,
Oh, of course.
what is driving you to do that? I mean, even if when you say, it's like, okay, I'm owning my sexuality.
Right.
Right.
I mean, there's so many more interesting ways to own your sexuality. And I don't know how owning your sexuality would be demonstrated by having that many men use your body.
Mm. That's a good point.
Are
Good
they
point.
using? Are they the ones using her, or is she using their bodies
Seems to be
break the record?
Seems to be a little bit mutual.
Because I mean, she is agreeing to do this. She wants to do
She's
this.
probably the only one paid to do it, though, right? Or the
Yeah,
men being
the men
paid
are
too?
getting
The men aren't getting paid.
The men are
So-
nice
so-
volunteers.
So in a sense, she's actually being compensated for it. The men are just kind of just there, and they don't really. They other than the satisfaction of being the one of 1,000, so many people, so many guys.
it's called
you know.
bragging rights.
Yeah, maybe bragging rights. Aside from that, they really don't get anything out of it. But she has the bragging rights of breaking the record.
Yeah, and she gets money from
Yeah,
her
she gets money.
videos and OnlyFans.
So
it seems like the argument that you're making is like she's exploiting them. What do you think about that?
is she degrading? In what way is she being degraded? Or is she degrading them too?
I think so. I mean, because it's just like you're just a little bit of a specimen that passes, So yeah, I think it's degrading for both sides. But then again, I'm a kind of person that thinks porn is degrading. So
Get out. No, it's
So aside from the fact, what you think about porn, so she's agreed to do this, right?
yeah.
Um, so I don't know. It's I guess it's how you see it, and if she wants, for some reason, for whatever reason, and yes, it's pretty unusual to be wanting to break this record, for sure.
Hmm.
But she wants to do it. Is that? I mean, what is
What could go wrong?
Are there men though that made her do this? Ultimately,
Well, I
Or
think
there-
men wanted to see her do it, right? For sure.
She got something psychologically.
Is there something?
I think that's a safe argument to say that she is not fully healthy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So is there something wrong necessarily, or because of that?
Is she like a natural exhibitionist, or is it's like some kind of thrill seeker that you need to elevate the level of risk to your health,
Mhm.
even, right?
Well, clearly, most porn stars that we know of they're exhibitionists, right? They have to be.
Well, they have to be able to do those things on camera.
And then, as you mentioned
it's not
before, like there was probably some type of traumatic moment in their lives that kind of opened up the neural pathways to this happening.
Yeah, it's like you
Right.
have to dissociate, or it's like this depersonalization that you go through to disconnect from like this supposedly intimate act, right?
Right.
All right. So I guess she doesn't really view it as an intimate act.
No, clearly not.
obviously not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
It's
so
like,
at
I
some
think-
point,
I think it's almost like a bowel movement.
Yeah, pretty
Let's-
much.
Let's
It's
be
like-
honest.
this is like I don't know, playing hopscotch or something with guys,
But
right?
it's like it cannot possibly be even physically comfortable. I mean, that must hurt. I can't see that she can walk the next day.
I'm sure there was a lot of
Oh.
icing down involved
I mean-
afterwards. I remember during the what was that other one? Oh yeah, Houston 500. That's right. In the Houston 500 that we mentioned, where the old record was broken, she was talking about on Howard Stern how much pain she was in for the next week or so,
Ugh,
Yeah. and I think that kind of destroyed her body, like in a
Right.
lot of ways. And I don't think she was ever the same again. That said, it's kind of like,
Yeah, it obviously not. There's going to be dangers to it, I guess, right? It's
Mhm.
going to be painful.
right. But the glory, the
The
glory.
glory, she
Isn't
gets
that what it's
something
about?
out of it, I guess.
Is that why she probably cut down the hours? She's like, no, I'm not going to do 24 hours, 12 hours. Like, let's do this quick and dirty.
Maybe,
Probably.
maybe that had
She learned from what's this other one?
Houston.
The Houston one.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, Houston 500 said
right.
24 hours of sex is just too painful.
Oh, I don't know the exact timing of that one. What that was.
So let's go through the history of these. What is who started this? What there was who started these
I think
huge do they call them gangbangs, or what
If-
what exactly is this?